I'll tell you when we're live here.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Sometimes takes as long as 10 seconds. There we are. We are live.
All right. This is kind of exciting.
All right. Okay. Hello, everybody that's watching out there on YouTube. Welcome to the session on Go Open UVA, Go Open VA, excuse me, not UVA.
It owes a bit of a debt to UVA from a long time ago, but
I'll get this right yet. Okay. All right. And I'm going to introduce Jean Weller here from Virginia Department of Education. And I'm going to leave this to you to introduce yourself and
okay, sure.
And everything you're going to talk about.
Okay, sounds great. So welcome everybody. I am going to talk really about two different things, and you can certainly let me know which way you want to go or hear more of. I created a something I've been very, very interested in is creating a way to personalize professional learning. Just as we're trying to encourage teachers to personalize the learning for students, we wanted to find a way for you to follow your own path as far as learning about something goes. So it of course reminded me of, I don't know if anybody remembers them, but a while back we had the Choose Your Own Adventure novels, and you would go through the novel and you would read, and then it would say, go to certain such page if you think this should happen, or this page if you think this should happen. And so I looked out on the internet to try to find some things that you could use for that sort of a storyline, so to speak, and I found a few things, and truly a few years back I had used PowerPoint to do something along these lines, but it was really hard to use and very hard to keep track of, so I didn't really want to go that route. And I know Google Slide has some stuff that you can do. You can sort of do a choose your own adventure with them. But I stumbled across this website called inklewriter, created by some folks in the UK. And it just seemed like it was cool. So I thought I'd play with it. And the way I was going to play with it was to create a choose your own professional learning path for Go Open VA. So I'm going to show that to you now. And while I show it to you, I'm going to talk a bit about Go Open VA and some of the things that you can do on there. But then if you'd like to know more about inklewriter, I can talk a little bit about that too, if you're interested in maybe trying the tool to do some of your own training sessions, or even doing some work with students. So first of all, let me take you there. Let's see. I think that's sort of where I've got to go. And I am hoping that everybody is seeing the Go Open VA Create Your Own Professional Learning Path from inklewriter.
We see it.
Okay, this is what you see. I have a URL that I can lend to anybody. I can send it out to anybody, and they can then go to this particular story on inklewriter. It's saved there. You get an account. It's free, and create as many stories as you want to. So this is my first one, and I don't know everything there is to know about inklewriter, but I have learned quite a bit as I developed this. So what I wanted to do was give people choices. Originally, I was thinking I would really make it scenario based, but then I thought, well, really, if people don't really know what they want from Go Open VA, then I need to give them it in very plain language, very straightforward. So your role You pick a role. Are you a teacher who wants some new ideas for his or her lessons? Are you someone looking to help other educators by being a mentor, or someone who wants to get help from other educators? So that's more of a social kind of goal.
Jean,
And
excuse me. Do you have a URL for that that I can post in the chat?
it's embedded in the little article on the on the website
Okay.
for
Well,
the.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go ahead and post the link in the notes for the video when it's posted on YouTube.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. And then the third option is, are you a trainer who wants to encourage teachers to try new things? So which role you choose depends on what kind of information you need to know about Go Open VA. And that was the idea behind this, is that you don't have to know everything. You might just want to know the stuff you need to know to do what you want to do. So I'm just going to show you, we're going to start as a teacher who wants some new ideas for his or her lessons. And when you do that, you get some choices. You get a little bit of text to explain, okay, what do you think you'd like to be able to do? And then again, you have choices. What do you want to find some new ideas for lessons? You want to upgrade your teaching strategies to help meet the profile of Virginia graduate? Or do you want to find some blended learning resources? So these are your choices. Obviously, I have to make decisions about what choices are available. I can't do unlimited because I don't have that much imagination, but I try to figure out the things that I generally heard from people. How do I do? How do I do this? How do I do that? So here are some, this is your very basic use of Go Open VA. I want to find some new ideas for lessons. So you click on that idea and your next question, your next choice comes up. Do you want to find new ideas by searching like you do with Google search, or do you just want to browse around until you see something that really grabs your fancy? We'll do the search. And when you do that, this is where you get to the actual, okay, here's what you want to do. This is the types of things you want to see. So all of these links in here go basically almost exclusively to our Go Open VA Users Hub. And the Users Hub, anybody can get to on Go Open VA. You just go to Hubs and choose, if you don't see Go Open VA Users Hub, choose See All Hubs. It will be the very first one. I have it thumbtacked up there basically, so you can get to it at any time. And the hubs, within the hubs, I have a lot of tips sheets, directions on how to do things, a lot of screencasts, because I don't know about anybody else, but I learn best when I can watch somebody do something and then I try to do it myself. And then I go back and watch 2 or 3 more times and then I can finally do it myself. So this is the different things that you can do on Go Open VA, how to work in a group, how to curate things, how to create things, how to navigate. All of these choices, when you click on one of them, you're going to get several resources to choose from. And they're all posted here on Go Open VA. So going back to our inklewriter story, you'll see that I have links here. So first, if you want to learn how to search, the first thing you want to do is look at the screencast. However, you know, what happens if you're really not very good at searching? And a lot of us aren't very good at searching. We're used to just typing in Google a few words or a phrase and letting it go. But that doesn't always give us the results we really need, especially if we're looking for something very specific. So I have a link to an article, How Do I Search Effectively? Or searching the internet. So you can go to either of those and try to find some information that will help you do a good search. And then thinking ahead, Well, once you find good resources on GoOpenVA, you might want to save them for yourself so you can come back and look at them later. A lot of times we do our searching all at one time, find lots of different choices, and we want to be able to go back and look at them at our leisure later on. So then I have a link to the screencast for how you save resources on GoOpenVA. So when you click on one of these links, it just opens it right up. You go right to the resource. On GoOpenVA, you can start playing the video and learn how to do a search. So, so that's how you do a path in this your professional learning path. Now, let's say that you've learned about the resources and you say, but I want to follow some of those other things. How do I get back to that? Well, luckily, you've got these little gray arrow buttons here that are rewind buttons, and they take you back. This time it takes you back to the very beginning. You can start new. And now I'd like to upgrade my teaching strategies. Yeah, looking at the profile of a graduate, I found some great resources, but most of them tend to be very superficial. And I want to see what types of things I can do that will help approach deeper learning for students. So here we have choices. Do you prefer to read about how other people are adjusting lessons? Or would you rather have digital conversations with those who are on the same journey? And again, it's a difference in personality. Are you a person that just likes to work by yourself for the most part? Or do you just get energized by being able to share ideas with other people? So you make the choice, which would you rather do? And I think I'm going to work with other Virginia educators. And here I have a little note. It's time for you to join a group in GoOpenVA. If you can't find a group that addresses what you want, then start one yourself. It's easy to do. So to learn how to join an interactive group or how to start and nurture your own group, see the resources on the Users Hub, How to Group. So when you do that, again, you're going to go to a whole set of resources, and there are several things in here. How to find and join a group, tips on nurturing your group, because you can't just start a group and expect it to happen. That whole build it and they will come never works on digital resources. So you need to know some things about how to get that group going and how to encourage people to interact with each other. So there's some tips on that that I found out on the internet. So there's lots of things here that you can use, not just the how-tos. How do I do that? How do I, manage the group? That type of thing. So going back to our story, and then you can also go to look about collaboration, because collaboration is a skill that not every teacher has, and it may be something that you would need to know a little bit more about. How do I collaborate with other teachers best? How do I do that? And also, how do I use GoOpenVA to collaborate? Because there are some very specific tools that you can use on GoOpenVA to do that. So, so this is another path. You can see it's the end. And then we're going to go back again, and we can go choose other paths. So I just wanted to show you, this is a self-paced. There's no tasks involved. It's mainly to help you find the information that you want to find in order to learn what you want to learn, as opposed to a course which would structure your inquiries into the path I want you to take. Now, I'm sure, I haven't really explored this, but I'm sure there's some way that you could build in some accountability to this. But I didn't want to do that for this particular thing. I just wanted to make it a kind of, I need to know this. Let me go find out how I get to know about that. So let me stop here, pause here, because I've done a lot of talking, and see if there are any particular questions that anybody has about GoOpenVA, in particular, how you get to the different parts and pieces of it.
I don't see any questions yet, other than where's the URL, and we found it was in your description of the session. It was on the schedule, so
Yeah.
at least we solved that problem.
Yay. Good.
At this point, I don't see any questions
Okay.
in the chat area, but if they come up, I will jump in and let you have them.
Okay, that sounds good. So let me just go back. As I said, most of the stuff that is in here are links to places on GoOpenVA on the Users Hub. And that is the great place to start when you're looking for help and how do I do and what can I do on GoOpenVA, because there's a lot of different things that you can do on GoOpenVA. You don't have to do any of them. You don't have to do all of them. You can pick and choose what the depth of your engagement is in the GoOpen environment. It really is up to you how far you want to use it. Obviously, we have the basics, and the basics just tells you a little bit about open education resources and how to use them and what they're for. We also have some information on just how to navigate around the website and where you can find certain things. We do have a help center that has some more formal, shall I say. You can do that. The top menu line for GoOpenVA has a drop-down menu, learn more, and you can go directly to the help center, which, as I said, has some more formal types of illustrated with screen captures how to do things and how to approach things. So that is there as well. Then you have these other places, like if you want to create a resource, what do you do? How do you start? How do you use the tools? Again, how to customize remixing. That's a big part of what GoOpenVA is all about, because any resource that's openly licensed is available for anybody to remix, edit, customize. Those words all pretty much mean the same. So you customize a resource for your students, for your situation, for your needs. No OER, which is what we call open education resources, is ever finished. It's always there to be tweaked by someone for their purposes. That's really what the purpose is. So customizing is a very big part of what GoOpenVA is all about. But then so is collaborating, and collaborating really is very important for teachers to be able to do, whether it be with just teachers in your own school, maybe even in your own grade level, or with teachers all around the state who have a very similar interest on a specific topic or a specific approach to teaching that you'd like to pursue. So you can go either way. You can go statewide or you can go just local. One important thing to note is that we do not allow people onto the site to add things if they are not teachers or educators in Virginia. Anybody can see the site. It is an open site, so anybody can come and search, maybe look at what's there, download some resources if they find something useful, but only Virginia teachers can add things. And that's important to note, that it's all made by Virginia teachers for Virginia teachers for the most part.
Jean, we have one question about the basics here. They want to know, do they need a VV password? I assume that's virtual Virginia password in order to create an account at GoOpenVA. So basically, how do they get an account there?
Okay, and this I address quite right in the basics. And remember, you can get to this without having an account. So you don't have to have an account to see how to get an account. You can go to GoOpenVA and look at the hub anytime. But getting access to GoOpenVA, for the most part, school divisions are providing single sign-on access to GoOpenVA. If you have a Virtual Virginia password, that will not allow you onto GoOpenVA. That isn't only for Virtual Virginia and for interacting with their courses, either as a, for professional learning or for working with students. So that's not the password that you would use. And in general, you won't use a password to get to GoOpenVA, because what you'll do is you'll log into your own local division network. And when you do, there should be one of your options should be some resources to go to. GoOpenVA may be one of those resources, and it may be out there by itself. It may be, we'll see our logo, GoOpenVA, out there in some way, shape, or form. If you don't know how to get to it or you can't find it, talk to your local tech coordinator, because everybody's different, of course. Every school division has a different way to do it, and I have very limited ability to help you with that. It's something that the local technology department decided how to set it up. So you have to go to them and ask them how to get to GoOpenVA. If you find out that your school division, and there are a few, who have not set up single sign-on, then you can contact me, and we'll put that the email address for me, jean.weller@doe.virginia.gov.
I'll put it in the comments.
There, great, thank you. That will allow you to get to me and ask for an account. And I can create an account for you as long as you have an address at a school division. We do allow a few other people in. We've gotten a few university people in who are providing resources, a few museum or organizational people in who are providing resources. But for the most part, you really have to be a teacher in a school division to participate. Again, anybody can go look at the resources and download them, but in order to add resources, you need to be part of a school division. And that really is something that was required, by our Office of the Attorney General, because they wanted to have security that we weren't going to have people posting up really inappropriate things on the website. So that's how we are doing that. All right, so this is, these again are things in here that anybody can access. You've got your help center, and of course you can use, oops, I don't have it open, our workshop in a box that we've created with Visti. And that is the workshop in a box, and we will have to get that URL to you because I don't have it up right now. But the workshop in a box is a collection of resources that you can use to create your own locally delivered workshops on GoOpenVA. And we sort of separate them out based on the types of things that you would be doing. So there's a foundations module where you're just sort of giving the information basically about openly licensed resources and how to get on the website, basically. And then we have one for curating on GoOpenVA and how you'd go about doing that. One for customizing, which is the remixing, editing of resources. And then creation, putting in your own stuff, your own original resources on GoOpenVA. So you can use those to help you understand, not just to deliver a workshop, but also to help you understand more about what's involved with all those different things that you can do on GoOpenVA. You also can access the 4-hour online self-paced course at Virtual Virginia, which some of you probably have done that particular course, and that takes you through a step-by-step process. That's kind of like the antithesis to what I was doing with the inklewriter, giving you the opportunity to just pick and choose the things that you want to do to learn about Go Open VA. The course on Virtual Virginia is very much step-by-step. You do this, you must do this task, complete this quiz, etc. And then at the end, you get a certificate and a digital badge if you would like that. So, so those are all ways that you can learn about Go Open VA and participate in it. And I guess I want to see if there are any more questions at this point. And if not, if anybody...
I posted the link for the workshop in a box to the
oh, thank you.
To the chat. I don't see, well, let's see. Somebody wrote, I recently found a resource or two from middle school English I wanted to check out. There was a message saying I needed to request access, I think from the creator's Google account. Is that standard?
It is for a lot of school divisions. A lot of school divisions have locked their Google accounts down so that you can't really share a link out broadly. So then you have to get permission from the person who owns that Google site to be able to view them. One of the things that we encourage is when you create resources on Go Open VA, you can import your own resources, and I'll show you very quickly. I'm using our online editor. This is called Open Author, and it's basically an editor just like you would find on basically any site that has an editor. One of the things that you can do is click on this link, import from Google Drive. But this is your own Google Drive. This is one that you have ownership rights over, and you can import your stuff into Go Open VA, and then you don't have to worry about that permissions problem. And it is a problem for sharing. It's definitely a problem because a lot of places have locked them down. But if you find something out there that somebody else has done, you'd like to use it, certainly write to them and ask for permission if you could use it. If they could send it to you, if you can't access it from their drive. So that's just a technology thing.
Oh, those technology things, they always get in the way.
I know.
Do we have any other questions or comments for Jean?
I can also talk about the inklewriter if somebody wants to see how that works.
Okay, if anybody wants to do that, we've got a few minutes left in this session, so we can look at that if people are interested. Let's see, I don't see anything else in the way of questions out here, so I guess everybody understands Go Open VA perfectly, right? every time I interact.
Well, if they don't, they can go take this professional development and learn all about it.
And somebody says that the 4-hour course was very informative and helpful, so there's an endorsement for it.
Oh, good, good.
This is one of those resources, though, that, as Jean said, is not finished. It's not something that's put up there and then that's it. It's going to grow and develop over time. So,
right. And I did mean to circle back around to the resources that we have on Go Open VA, and I have this in case people want to know about it. I have this in our basics section, a document explaining about the 2 types of resources on Go Open VA. Basically, we have resources that have been added from our mother site. We have a mother site, oercommons.org. Some of you may be familiar with them already. They have a lot of openly licensed education resources on their site, but they also have some that are not openly licensed enough for us. We have included only resources, the resources on our site that are only allowed or licensed for reuse, remixing and reuse, resharing. And there are some openly licensed resources that are not licensed for remixing. And we did not want to have any confusion for any teachers. You want to be able to go on in the morning of a day when you've got to come up with something very quickly, find a resource, be able to edit it very quickly without having to worry about, does this have the right permissions for me to use this, the right copyright permissions. We've decided all of our stuff must be allowed for remixing and resharing. So anyway, be that as it may, we took a lot of resources off of oercommons.org, and those resources actually do not reside on GoOpenVA. They reside somewhere else, usually on a website in, you know, Minnesota or Florida or Canada, Africa, some other place, some other web or computer. So a lot of times when you click on those resources to look at them, you're going to go to a different system. And it's a little bit more difficult to sometimes access those resources and download them so that you can edit them and change them. However, we are starting now, obviously, to have our own resources loaded on. And that's the second type of resource. That's a resource that's been created using the open author software. So it gets loaded pretty much on almost all of the times. It gets loaded directly onto our, it's not really a computer, it's a cloud thing, storage area. But basically it's on us so that it's much easier for teachers to be able to download and edit those resources. But the original resources, we needed to have something for people to start with, and there's a lot of great resources out there that are on other sites that we wanted to include. That's just kind of like a something to know about GoOpenVA. You've got these two different types of resources, and how you're able to use them depends on how they were loaded into the system. So.
Okay, I don't see any further questions unless somebody wants to drop something in there in a hurry. While you're thinking of anything you might want to ask, we'll just remind you that we're back again tomorrow with a full day of sessions. And please check the schedule and see what you might be interested in. And if you're inclined, we're going to try an online karaoke session tonight. I'm not much of a karaoke person, but Tim Owens, who is, will be leading that, and it should be a lot of fun. You know, bring something you know, alcoholic to drink, and you'll probably have even more fun.
Have a great time.
Anyway, any more questions? I mean, and I put Jean's address in there. She probably will regret that. But if you have any specific questions or comments about GoOpenVA, send them along to her, and I'm sure she'll be able to handle them for you.
Absolutely, that's what I'm here for.
And as I said earlier, this is the beginnings of this whole thing, not the end. So yeah, what am I going to sing right? Anyway, this is not the end of or the conclusion of GoOpenVA. This is just the beginnings, and so we're hoping that it grows into a really wonderful resource for all the educators in Virginia. So anyway, thank you, Jean. We really appreciate your time, and thank you all for attending our sessions today. We really love trying out all the new things. And if you've got suggestions or ideas that you think we can use to make this whole kind of a presentation better. We know that, it's much better being together live and in person, but I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to happen very soon, especially since while we've been on the air, Fairfax announced that we're going to start the school year virtually instead of trying to do in the hybrid versions. So
Yeah.
this is going to be fun.
Yes, it
Thank
will.
you all again, and have a good afternoon and evening. We'll see you here again either tonight or tomorrow.
Thanks.
And